Hi, thanks for joining me here at Life LDC. Today I'll be demonstrating Release 5, the framed flowers motif of Lisa Richardson's 2017 felted tweed blanket crochet along. I'll be doing motif 7, which uses the shades Boulder, Ginger, and Peony. Release 5, the framed flowers motif, starts with a 5-chain ring. It's quite tiny, so you make 5 chains and slip stitch together. Round 1 reads, using first color, 6 chain, counts as one treble and 3 chains, and then in brackets 1 treble into ring, 3 chains 7 times. So use 6 chain, then 1 treble, 3 chains 7 times, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you slip stitch to the 3rd chain of that first 6 chains that you did at the very beginning. This is tiny. Can you see how tiny it is? I couldn't really demonstrate it for you because my fingers just kept getting in the way. So the 3rd round of this motif uses this same color. So I'm suggesting that you, instead of breaking it off, make a large loop. Pass the ball of yarn through. And tie it off, ready for, it'll be hanging there ready for round 3. Joining in your second color for round 2, just give your motif a little tug and you'll see there's an opening there where the end was finished by the slip stitch. So just go in there and draw your yarn through and you've joined on your second color. Starting with a 3 chain, bracket 4 trebles into the 3 chain space, 1 treble into the treble below. So we're doing 1 more treble into the space than the number of spaces. So 3 chains, 4 trebles, and 1 treble into each bar here. And repeat that going around the whole motif. And at the end you slip stitch to the top of the 3 chains at the beginning of the round. And I'll meet you there. So here we are at the end of round 2. You should have 40 trebles around this circle and just fasten off with the slip stitch to the beginning of the 3 chain. And you can actually cut this off and finish the edge because we're not going to use this color again. Round 3 reads, using the first color, which we've left attached, working behind all the trebles of round 2, attach the yarn to the top of any treble of round 1. So since my tail is here, it is actually already attached to the top of one of the trebles of round 1. If you finished it off, then you just attach it through the back here, attach it there, working behind this ring of round 2. You have to come in through the back and catch 2 arms of the yarn. One wouldn't make it stable enough. You have to catch 2. A little bit tedious, but can be done. So see, you've caught 2 on the back, and your the hook is definitely working behind. So you would then join on your yarn that way. Okay. Since I already have my tail attached, I am also going to try and come in and catch 2 threads of yarn from round 1. There we go. And loop through. That would be really me reattaching the yarn again. So it just means that I didn't start break off. I'm just technically reattaching. 8 chain, which counts as 1 long double crochet, and 6 chains. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is a long double crochet, you say? Well, we will find out. So for purposes of this demonstration, I'm just going to mark off the first 2 chains which count as this long double crochet. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There is the top of those first 2 chains. The instructions now read: 1 double crochet into the second chain from the hook, 1 half treble into the next chain, 1 treble, 1 double treble, and 1 triple treble, all into these chain stitches. One double crochet, one half treble, just got 1 loop there, got to get 2, one treble, one double treble, and now 1 triple treble into the last chain before that, the marked chain, which indicates the top of the long double crochet. Always getting 2 strands of yarn. Isn't that an interesting little piece of crochet? Now the pattern calls for a long DC in the top of the next treble from the first round. So working from the back, picking up 2 strands of yarn here. Yes, we have 1 strand on the front, so we're working from the back. Yarn over through those 2 strands. And then before we do the last yarn over and through of the DC, you make that long enough to bring it up to the length to sit behind these trebles of the second round. So you extend that so that when you hold it all together, your needle is sitting with the stitches above the top of the second round, and finish off your DC. And that is a long DC. So these petals are attached to the main body of the knitting, to the first round, by these long DCs. Carry on, six chain, do all the DC, the half treble, the treble, down, and join on. Keep doing that all the way around, and your last step is to join by slip stitching to the top of these first 2 chains. So I'll demonstrate one more petal before I go here. So let's try that again. 6 chain. Don't make them tight. You know you're going to have to work back into these chains. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 double crochet into this second chain back. One half treble into the third chain back. One treble into the next chain back, the fourth chain back. Double treble into the fifth chain back. And a triple treble into the sixth chain back, which is at the top of this elongated DC. picking up 2 strands of the yarn from the back of one of these treble bars. So there's 2. I'm just, oh no, it looks like I'm coming around the front, so I need to do that again. 1 bar. Two bars. And yes, there is a strand underneath, so we're okay there. So stretching that up to the height of the trebles on round 2, so that the hook is just sitting above, holding it with your finger, get it in there, and then we finish off the DC. Okay, so here I am just about to do my last long DC. Pulling that through, pulling it up, making it as tall as the previous rounds, the trebles on the previous round, and finishing my DC before making the 6 chains, making them loose enough to be able to work back into. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It helps if you hold the motif straight so that the chain itself stays straight. This is not the easiest crochet. It is worth taking your time, doing it slowly. You must be aware of where you're going in here, because you need enough space. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So into the 3rd chain, I'm going to do this half treble. I found that by sort of putting the tip back up under my needle and holding the chain straight, I can get into things a little bit easier. So that was the half treble. This is going to be the treble. Double treble. Catching 2 threads of the chain that you're going into to keep it stable. And the final triple treble. And it goes right there above the elongated DC. Now, I asked Lisa Richardson why she used a long DC there rather than a treble. And I think it was just personal preference. It keeps things loose there, not too tight, and maybe that's why it's supposed to be there. I'm not sure. If you're having trouble with the long DC, you could always try a treble there. And the last thing is to slip stitch to the chain at the top of this this leg here. We started off with 8 chains, so it's at the top of the 2 chain of this leg. So I'm just going to go right in here and slip. I got to tell you, this was a tough round for me. I hope this helps you. These little pointy bits are all, wonky right now. Nothing that a blocking will not sort out. Even just giving them a little tug right now, it shows you that the way they're supposed to sit. Okay, next round is round 4, and we're using the third color. So that's it for this color. You can break it off and finish this end. Quite cute, isn't it? Round 4, using third color, attach yarn to turning chain of any star point. So, turning chain of any star point. So in there's a turning chain, and we want to get in there and attach our yarn for chain. Brackets, 1 double treble, 3 chain, and 2 double treble into this same space. So 1 double treble, three chain, and 2 more double trebles into this space. I'm just going to take the tail out of there. So double treble. Let's see, the space is getting larger to accommodate. Star, 6 chain, one double crochet into the turning chain of this star point, six chain. Two double trebles, 3 chain, and 2 double trebles into the churning chain of the next star point. One double treble, 2 double trebles, 3 chain, and 2 more double trebles all into this star point. This creates a corner. So we're going to proceed by doing 6 chain, DC, 6 chain, another corner, 6 chains, DC, 6 chains, another corner, 6 chains, DC, 6 chains, joining to the top of this 4 chains at the beginning of the round. So I'll see you then. So here I am slip stitching to the 4th chain at the beginning of the round. That finishes this round off, and you can start to see what's happening here. We have the star points, the little flower in the middle, and we have this very open border. So on to round 5, which still uses this 3rd color, so don't be breaking it off. Round 5, 3 chain, 1 treble into the next double treble, 5 trebles into the 3 chain space, 1 treble into the next double treble from the round below, and into the next one, and 6 trebles into the 6 chain space. One treble into the double crochet at this next point. And on you go. So it'll be 6 more trebles into this 6 chain space, a treble on the top of these 2 double trebles, 5 into the corner, 2 on the top of the double trebles, 6, 1, 6, etc. And carry around to the end when you slip stitch to the top of the 3 chain right here, which represents the first treble of the round. So I finished off round 5 by slip stitching to the 3rd chain at the beginning of the round. So round 6 continues with this 3rd color, chain 4, which counts as 1 treble and 1 chain. Miss a treble and treble into this next treble. One chain, miss the next treble, and into this next treble, too many next trebles. This is actually the 3rd of the 5 trebles in the corner. We're going to treble, 3 chain, and treble again, all into this same stitch. Treble, 3 chain, and treble. Chain 1, miss the next treble, treble into the next treble. Chain 1. So what it is miss a treble, treble into the next treble, chain 1. And you repeat that all along. When you get to the next corner, you should end up working in to the center stitch of the next corner, and that's if you don't, it's because you've either skipped one on this round or you didn't put enough trebles in on the previous round. So just be aware of that and carry on. I'll see you at that corner because that's our first checkpoint. As you can see, Daisy's had a tough day already. She's actually having her morning snooze, and in about half an hour or so, when I'm finished this, we are going to G-O-W-A-L-K, but I don't dare say it out loud because if she doesn't hear it, Lackey will. Okay, it looks like we're coming up to a corner. Chain 1, miss a treble, and this treble should be, and yes it is, it's the treble in the corner. So I'm going to treble, 3 chain, treble into this treble. Treble, 3 chain, treble into this corner. Okay, so this is another, oops, looks like I've missed a chain right there. So I'm going to have to rip back, but you can see what's happening. There's your corner, treble chain all along, corner, keep going, get back to the end, and you slip stitch to the 3rd chain at the beginning. I'm just going to rip back now, and I'll meet you at the end. Looks like I did put a chain in there. I guess I just made it too tight. Didn't look right, but I'm glad I did that because I wanted it to be right. Okay, happy crochet. I'll see you at the end. You end the round by slip stitching to the 3rd of the 4 chains we started the round with. You want to have that 4th chain there as the opening. It makes it match everything else. So make sure you leave that 4th chain alone and slip stitch into the 3rd. We are now done with this square. I got to tell you, this was quite a challenge, and I am very happy to have finished it. I think it's going to benefit greatly by some blocking, but it's really quite cute, and it's given me an idea for a little corsage thing I'd like to make for a hat. So I will probably do that up as a bonus for this video release. So carry on, do all 8 of release 5 to frame flowers. By looking at the pattern photograph on the Rowan website, I think this is the last of the motifs. I'm pretty sure. So get your motifs done, get them all blocked up. Make sure you've got them all numbered so you know what you're talking about, because I think you're going to want to know for the next release. Just my opinion, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, so happy crochet, and look to the bonus for my little corsage. Thank you for joining me here at Life LDC, and I hope you subscribe to get notification of future video releases. Thank you. Here's the cute little flower motif that I made to use either as a corsage on a sweater or maybe on a hat. What do you think?